Alright, hey guys, so we're back with the final level,
Captain, how
Coastal
about you
Highway
hang back?
here.
Let us clear path.
This is the
Agreed.
level that
I'll
gives a
stay.
lot of people nightmares, especially if you're trying to do it like speedrun deathless wise. But yeah, if you do what I do exactly, it's actually pretty consistent. So you just want to take the pathing that I'm taking off the start here.
Buck, that turret has us pinned. We can't advance. Flank the watchtower. Take it out.
And you want to switch out your plasma pistol for the rocket launcher there. And you just want to throw nades to make these guys dodge. Looks very scary, but you can just run past those guys most of the time, as long as you're throwing nades. So there is another engineer warp here, but I'm not going to show that for this video because there's a small chance of it soft locking. But yeah, I'll be doing an IL video for this level as well, so you can feel free to look at that if you want to. So we're just gonna wait for the engineer to open up this door over here.
Sit tight. We'll need the alien to power on the switch.
Also, so that was a cutscene, so if you did take any
Take the wheel,
damage, you have full health, full
shotgun.
shields now. And just what you want to do is get in the hug and drive over this way.
More trouble.
So I like to park right here.
Hey,
And then there's several grunts, so I just want to headshot them. Now, once you headshot two of them, these grunts are gonna kind of run away, and you can just run them over. And then come back over here, and I like to park right here. I'm actually gonna change one of my visual settings because it's not fully rendering.
Take the wheel, rookie. All right, shotgun.
Oh. Yeah, I mistakenly reverted, but now the render distance should be better, I believe.
Take the wheel, rookie. All right, shotgun. Reinforcements. Hey, Cap.
My render distance is like a little weird right now, but we'll see if we can still get through it. Anyways, there's 6 grunts here, like I said. You kill 2 of them, the rest of them kind of like run to this section here. You just want to splatter them. If you miss any of them there, they will throw nades at you, so you want to splatter all of them, or you can kill them from a distance, it's up to you. But yeah, you want to switch actually your carbine for a plasma pistol. So right now you have a plasma pistol and a rocket launcher. And you're going to wait here until the audio or voice line starts. And now you're going to drive. Just drive past all these enemies. And the door should pretty much open perfectly here. And also at every single door, there are health kits if you want to grab it. For this one, we didn't really take any damage, so I'm not gonna grab a health kit. We're just gonna chill here for a bit. Let our Wolfon drive up, and yeah, we will be proceeding in a little bit here. I want to see if I can field of view. There we go. All right, I know that's like FOV. That's not a render distance. Oh. Save. Okay, there we go. So yeah, my render distance was a little low for some reason. So the render distance actually does help for this level because you guys see things in the distance.
Don't worry, we got you covered.
Make sure you have your render distance up. But yeah, once the Olifant gets to the sort of area that it's at right now, I want to start driving up. Avoid running over those grunts because there is a chance that they're throwing a nade and will stick you. And then when the door opens, you want to come over here to where the health kit is. Have your rocket launcher out So now there's these sniper towers ahead of us with fuel rod grunts in them. So there's 2 groups of fuel rod grunts in these towers, and there's 4 towers. However, the first 2 towers will only have 1 spawn, and then the second 2 towers will only have 1 spawn. So it's just a 50-50 whether these guys are going to be in the first tower or the second tower. They're in the first tower though. So just what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shoot a rocket and just, dodge these fuel rod shots.
You're mine.
And then get into my hog.
Banshee, up above.
Then you can come over here. And you want to look for where the next enemies are. It looks like they're probably in the next tower. So you could try to shoot, mistakenly shot the Oliphant, but you could try to shoot a rocket at the other tower there and hit them and kill them that way. Now you want to grab a fuel rod, give it to your ally, and grab one for yourself as well. So now you have a fuel rod and a plasma pistol. You want to make sure your teammate is in the hog though. And yeah, you actually want him in the passenger. So when you kick him out, he should just go into the passenger normally here. But I'll discuss that in a second. So you want to drive forward now. And what you actually want to do is kind of park your hog right where I'm at right now. So just at the kind of corner of this structure. And you want to get into the hog and just start turreting these drones. So once there's only 4 drones left alive, you can proceed to open the door. But right now the door wouldn't open if there's this many drones alive. So we want to make sure we kill enough that there's only 4 alive. And if we drove up like too close, they would also kind of like swarm us and kill us. So yeah, that looks like enough enemies. So we want to come up here. We can just go grab a health kit. Proceed to the next section of the highway. Also, what I'll do is I'll just discuss really quickly. So for our teammate, we can manipulate our teammate if he's in the gunner or the passenger seat, which I will talk about. Like, it'll be very necessary in the future. So I'm just going to talk about it now. Basically, if you were to get into the passenger seat, it makes your teammate get into the gunner. If you're in the gunner, your teammate will get into the passenger seat. Your teammate will never get into the driver's seat. So yeah, that's how you can like make him do what you want. So if I want him to be in the gunner, I get into the passenger, he'll get into the passenger. So that's kind of how we do it. So actually for this section, I want him in the passenger. So we'll have him there. And we're going to proceed to the next section. So also how I like to do this section of the level fast is I like to park about here and look forward. When the Oliphant goes around the bend, right now I count 1, 2, 3, and then I drive. And it should be timed more or less that the door will open as we get there. And you actually want to take the pathing I'm taking here because there's a lot of grunts and they may be throwing nades. So you want to take that path kind of over to the left, and you can get out, get a health kit if you took any damage. And now we're on the next section. So this is where things start to get a little sketchy. The next like 4 doors are like this door, and then the next 3 after that are the big challenge part of the run, like where a lot of people would say, this is like RNG basically, like, how does this work? But if you do exactly what I do, it is very consistent. So we are going to let our Oliphant drive up in front of us here. And we're going to kind of trail behind it. There are several ghosts in this section here, but we don't actually have to kill any of them. We're just going to stay behind the Oliphant, and now take the left as soon as we can there around that bend. And you kind of want to come out here, park the hog, so that your teammate in the passenger is kind of shooting at these guys, distracting them. And when the door opens, we can pretty much go at any point in time, but you mainly want to go when these ghosts aren't shooting at you. So like right about now, I can start to drive and I should be all right.
Hey, hold up! It's a guy.
So now this is like this door and the next door are like the big difficulty spike. So you want to do exactly what I do here. Now, in your run, some small details may change. Like, potentially, there's another Gauss hog up ahead. If it gets kind of blown to the side or something, you still want to stick with the same game plan, even if small details change. But you want to do exactly what I'm doing. So first, as you cross this door, you want to pick up a health kit
Same deal.
and then get
You drive,
into the
I'll shoot.
passenger of the Gauss hog here, and it will force your teammate to go into the gunner. So once he starts pathing, now you can get into the
Put me
driver,
away.
and you want to drive the hog up onto this structure thing and just get out. And you're just gonna kind of wait until the Banshee starts to fly away. And now you want to go take this path thing here. And then you kind of want to park near this hog here. And you want to get into the gunner. And you want to start firing at enemies. And like, basically what we're doing here is we're drawing aggro. So that our teammate takes less, the Oliphant takes less damage. So ideally your priority here is focusing ghosts if you can. If you can kill one or two of the ghosts, that's amazing. But essentially, I'm actually gonna redo this section. We're basically dividing aggro because our teammate is in the hog shooting at enemies and we're shooting at enemies. It draws a lot of aggro away from the Oliphant. So you want to take this same pathing I'm taking. Sort of stop near this hog here. There's also health kits which help a lot that we can fill up on. And now, see this off ramp that's right in front of us. Once the Oliphant is like kind of in line with it, is when I like to get back into the original hog and then start driving away. So not yet. I can still keep firing. But right about now, like, it was in line with it, or a little past it, is where I start to drive. And you want to take this same pathing I'm taking here, and you want to come, park your hog sideways, and stand behind it. So if you did it exactly like this, you should have split aggro well enough that the Oliphant, can get away scot-free. And then, as long as your teammate is in the hog, this hog is invincible, so you don't have to worry about it blowing up or anything. Plus, Buck has like aimbot in this thing, which is very nice. So you can kind of just hide behind your hog, and then just let him do the work and kill all the enemies. I got kind of lucky with this seed. Like, I would have loved if I had this in an actual full game run, because these ghosts are kind of blocked right now, which is weird. Usually these ghosts aren't blocked. Oh, they're coming up now, so never mind. We'll have to deal with them. But yeah, you kind of, like, the ghosts pretty much ignore you. They don't even know you really exist, almost. So you kind of just want to stand behind here, and you're pretty safe. The only issue is if these ghosts do flip, and the brutes get out of the ghost near you, they may try to throw a drain at your hog or a nade or something, which will have Buck get out. Because anytime an object is thrown at him, or even a flare, if any like equipment or nades are thrown at Buck, he's gonna get out of the hog, and the hog can blow up at that point. And if the hog blows up, that's pretty much GG. So yeah, basically, if one of the ghosts ever flip and a brute is actually out, not in the ghost, you want to plasma pistol them to avoid them from like throwing nades or throwing equipment. And then Buck will just kill them afterwards. Like he'll kill them with the Gauss hog, so you don't have to worry about actually finishing off the enemy. But you just want to make sure you crack the brute shield so it doesn't throw any equipment or anything at you. In that case, it didn't happen here, but it is something that is kind of likely to happen. But yeah, that's basically how you play this door. I'll do it again just to like, you know, show that it's not luck. It is very consistent if you do everything that I do.
Get me an angle!
Like I said, there was a small detail there, like a car got kind of moved into a weird spot. Doesn't really matter. As long as you stick to the game plan, we should be alright. Alright. So I'll pick up the health kit and then go.
I have him in my sight.
Park sideways here.
Stay on target.
Anytime there is also a ghost kind of like behind the hog, you want to be careful because they could potentially splatter you. So that is, oh, like he just hit me now. You do have to do some like adapting, you know, but yeah, I mean, if they're behind you, you want to be careful. The closer you actually park to this door, kind of the better. It's less likely that ghosts will go behind you, but also as your hog is getting shot, it gets pushed, and you don't want it to get pushed into the next area. Oh, like this guy is actually out, so I just want to plasma pistol him. Oh, and he still threw a flare, but oh, actually, okay. So I just got unlucky there. Usually, if you crack a brute shields, they're enraged and they won't throw any nades or anything like that. So that was like very unlucky. But you can see how the pathing I took and everything, like I'm getting to the spot where, you know, the Oliphant is alive, which is like the main thing, right? So I'll do it again here.
That's it.
The Oliphant is getting stuck, which is unlucky.
They got the Oliphant?
Yeah, I mean that was just if that ever happens in a run, you just got super unlucky. Especially if the Oliphant gets stuck like that on this door. There is a possibility that just randomly the Oliphant's pathing like kind of breaks for a bit. And if that does happen, it will eventually teleport, but on this door, it will just kill it. That is something that's very rare, though. Like, I can't remember the last time I've had that happen.
There she goes.
So yeah, Oliphant's going. Then here, I'll kind of park a little closer to the door this time.
That's right.
You just want to ultimately find out what's comfortable for you. Like if I'm here now, I don't have to worry about ghosts really coming behind me. However, the hog is going to start almost crossing the line here. And if you cross the line here before all the enemies are dead, pretty much the run is dead. Like there's no way to make the next door consistent if you cross that line. So yeah, you kind of want to chill here. If the hog does get pushed too much, you can melee it to kind of push it back. But meleeing it is risky because maybe you'll flip the hog or something weird's gonna happen. So yeah, you want to figure out what's best for you if you want to park farther or closer. Both methods can work, but you have to make sure you do not cross this line here. Alright, so all the ghosts are dead, which is very good. Now we just have to wait for Buck to kill all the Banshees. He's very accurate, so he actually does this like pretty quickly. There's actually one more ghost.
I have him in my sight.
But it's actually kind of nice. Like you saw an example of like pretty much everything that could go bad that just will happen. So that was pretty good. Like if somebody flips, so you kind of know. Ideally, you're just supposed to plasma pistol him. And he's not supposed to throw anything, but unfortunately, it did. It happens sometimes. Yeah, and then sometimes the Oliphant can also have its pathing break, which you saw.
That's it. Keep her steady. Give me an angle.
So yeah, we're not letting him kill everything so we can get a checkpoint, because obviously it's an Iron Skull. We just want him to kill everything so that none of these enemies follow us into the next section and do any additional damage, because we need everything to go perfectly for this next door. Okay, so he killed everything. I think there's one other ghost back here. Yeah, I just want him to kill this as well, so I'm just gonna park here now. It kind of looked like that guy's AI was kind of stuck or broken, but I'm gonna make sure he's dead just in case, because I didn't want him to like aggro. You know, I leave here and then for some reason he starts aggroing onto us. So now that everything is dead, it's time for the next door. So everything, like once you cross this line, the door is gonna open and then the section's gonna start playing out. So before you cross this line, you want to make sure that you are prepared to do exactly as I'm going to do here. So you want to make sure you have your plasma pistol out, first of all. And you're going to want to grab a health kit. And immediately drive to where I'm going to drive right now. So where this tank is and this like explosion mark, you want to park your front wheel right about here. And then what it does is now the Wraith is aggroed onto Buck, and you're perfectly in line for the Wraith shots to be blocked by that sign. So when the Wraith's shots are blocked by this sign, it helps a lot with the damage done to the Oliphant in this section. Which is very key. So you want to make sure you park how I parked here. And then what you actually want to do is you want to leave Buck in the turret. And you want to path over this way, plasma pistol the Wraith. Plasma pistol it one more time and get into this hog. And now you can just drive to the next section here. And look, the Oliphant, its shields went back to normal. Like it was basically at 100% HP. Doing it this way manipulates the AI into a way that it took me a long time to figure out how to do this, by the way, but it manipulates the AIs of all the enemies so that basically the Oliphant is almost at 100 HP. And you're pretty full on HP as well when you're driving up this way. So yeah, it's pretty precise, but as long as you do have your shots blocked by that Wraith, you're all good. If you mess it up though, you're probably gonna die. You can still try to plasma pistol the Wraith. Like let's see if I can show it off here. So I'm gonna show if I parked incorrectly, right? I parked too far back. The Wraith is going to shoot and is going to go over. Buck is also going to get out of the turret, probably, because there's, like, an explosion near him. I still got kind of lucky-ish, where the Wraith, like, I'll show it in a different way. I'll drive closer.
I see it. Must have dropped out from one of those cruisers. Just keep driving. It hasn't spotted us.
So now, oh, Buck. Usually, if any explosion is coming near him, he would get out of the turret. So I'm not really sure what's going on right now. But if Buck were to get out of the turret, that's very bad, because once Buck is out of the hog, enemies are far less like drawn to him. So they'll start shooting at the Oliphant a lot. The best case scenario, if that does happen, is you want to
I see
path
it. Must have dropped out from one of those cruisers.
immediately
Just keep
to
driving.
the
It hasn't
hog.
spotted
Like,
us.
you just want to plasma pistol this Wraith if you can. Drive immediately to this hog. I mean, I messed it up. Kind of what the backup strat would be. And actually, I take it back. You don't want to go
I see
immediately.
it. Must have dropped
So
out from
even
one of
if you
those
mess up the lineup and,
keep
you know,
driving.
Buck is
It
now
hasn't
out of
spotted
the
us.
hog, which is very bad, you want to plasma pistol the Wraith, but kind of, you still want to hang back. The reason for that is because you want the Oliphant to kind of be able to move up, and you want to plasma pistol the Wraith and keep it kind of stun locked, and then get into the hog, and now you can drive up. So it is salvageable. The Oliphant might have took too much damage. We'll find out though. But it is salvageable if you don't have the Wraith getting blocked by like the highway sign. But if you do it like how I originally showed it, it is like free almost. As long as the race mortars are hitting that sign, um, and you do that same pathing, like EMPing the Wraith and then getting into the other hog and driving up, very, very free to get past this door. However, yeah, in this situation, now you want to get out of the hog, just grab a health kit and then get into the tank. And you want to kill, just start shooting at all the enemies back here. And nice, we did it. So the once the next door opens, your Oliphant will get 100 HP back. So once you do that, you're pretty much in the clear. But you want to do it exactly how I showed. So drive your hog into that position, have the Wraith mortars be blocked by the sign, plasma pistol, like wait for a little bit until your Oliphant kind of drives forward, then run towards the hog, EMPing the Wraith, and then drive past over to here, get the health kit, get into the Scorpion, and start shooting some of the enemies. Now, the next door is going to open. So on this next section, we want to kill the Shade turret. If any enemies do follow us into this section, like any Wraiths or Ghosts, we want to make sure we kill them. These things, they will just follow you to the ends of the earth for some reason. Anything that follows you into this section will just keep following you, and they will just shoot you the entire time. Like, they will not stop. Sometimes Banshees, right? They're gonna fly around in the air, and then no, these Banshees will just slowly trail you, shooting you the entire time. So you want to get rid of that shade and immediately like turn your aim around and be shooting what's behind you. However, you need to still be like moving forward in your Wraith. If you just stop and start shooting at them, you're gonna now have issues in this next section. So as you can see, I'm like right behind the Oliphant because I was still driving forward, but aiming backwards and shooting. So you want to be in this same position, ideally, like everything behind you is dead. The Oliphant's right in front of you here. If there is still things shooting behind you, you want to keep shooting those things and hopefully kill them very shortly. Because there should only be maybe one or two things that follow you. You'll be very unlucky if you have like three or four. I don't think I've ever had three or four. So, but yeah, you want to make sure you kill everything behind you, and then you want to look forward. So now there is an anti-air wraith. It's gonna shoot this first shot at your Oliphant no matter what. You know, there's not much you could do about it. Is going to shoot this shot. You just want to make sure that these shots don't hit you, and then once you make sure that they don't hit you, if you start shooting the Wraith, it's gonna kind of like draw aggro onto you, and as long as you're in this sort of range of it, it actually doesn't shoot any anti-air Wraith at all, so you can just like sit there and just kill it. And now you want to look at the shade, kill the shade, and all these banshees you don't really have to care about. You can now just drive forward into the next section. So doing those 4 doors in like following those rules is very consistent. Like more often than not, you know, it's not even like 50%. I would say it's like maybe 80% likelihood that you can get through all, or I mean, at this point with how much I've practiced it, it's like 90%. Like there are some things that can go wrong, like I said, the ghost in that one section flipping and then them throwing a nade at you or something. But that's kind of the only thing that really can go wrong with how I do it now. So as long as that doesn't happen to me, I'm pretty much scot-free and through that area, which is the hardest part of the level. So once you're at this part, you're kind of cruising. So yeah, you know, I sort of found a lot of the manips and stuff there. So yeah, I hope you enjoy them. It should be pretty nice and satisfying being able to get through this level deathless. But yeah, we'll carry on. You know, a lot of the rest of the level is pretty free. What you just want to do is come here, grab a health kit, and then you can just drive forward. If any Banshee does follow you into this section, same as last time, you're going to want to kill it. And what you just want to do is actually shoot the engines of these phantoms. So it's each one of these phantoms are carrying 2 ghosts. You don't want to kill the phantom as the ghosts are over the highway because it'll actually drop the ghosts onto the highway. Once they're past on this side where I just killed it, it's going to drop the ghosts into the abyss, so you don't even have to deal with them. If you don't kill one of these phantoms, it's not the end of the world. There are just going to be a couple of ghosts in the next section. So it may be like slow you down a little bit, but you're not going to die because you didn't kill 1 or 2 of these wraiths, or sorry, phantoms. But yeah, basically you want to path backwards. Ideally, you want to path backwards here and just try to shoot the engines of these phantoms and kill them.
There'll be more soon enough.
I killed all 4 of them perfectly at the door, right on time. So that's ideal. Like I killed all 4 of them while driving backwards. I'm here as soon as the door opens. That's obviously the ideal and the quickest you can do it. But yeah, like I said, if you do miss any of the phantoms or you kind of mess up your driving, all that's happening is you're losing time. You don't have to worry about like you dying or something like that. So you just come back, grab another health kit if you need it, and you're just going to kill these shade turrets. So there's 2 shade turrets here. If you didn't kill any of the ghosts, there would be ghosts here as well. Or any of the phantoms, sorry, there would be ghosts here as well.
Great job.
Alright, so now we're kind of on to the final section, sort of the highway here. So on this section, there's a lot of enemies. what you want to do first is you want to kill all the grunts. So you want to just kind of stay back though, so you don't want to drive directly into them because they're going to throw nades at you. The main thing is, yeah, you want the grunts dead so that they can't nade you. Actually, what I'll do is I'll show both options here. So yeah, you want to kill the grunts. So there's two ways to get past this section. This way that I'm going to first show is a little bit more of an IL-ish way to do it. If you get stuck, it's not the end of the world. But you want to follow the Oliphant here. And if one of these brutes decide to throw his drain though, you're just dead. So that's why it is risky. But you actually kind of don't have to worry about spike nades and stuff like that. The only issue is this fuel rod guy. But if you let him path over to where he's running every time, and then right when he's about to turn around, you shoot him, you kind of stun lock him and he doesn't shoot you. So you can just drive by all those enemies, but if you want to just be consistent, you're gonna want to just take your time and kill all these enemies here. Doesn't take too long. The main thing about killing the enemies here though is, so see this bus, what you're gonna want to do is stay behind this bus, because if you go past this bus, enemies will start to aggro onto you. So you just kind of stay where I'm at right now, and you can snipe the rest of the enemies here.
You're coming to us.
The main thing is you want to kill the fuel rod guy, because he is the biggest issue. If you kill the fuel rod guy, you can then try to drive up. But once again, if one of the brutes decide to throw a drain at you, you're probably dead. So it is unlikely, but if they do it, you're probably dead. So if your main goal is just being deathless and you don't want to risk it, then just kill all the enemies here. You're just gonna want to sit back, slowly snipe these guys out, and you will be able to get through eventually. Also, the main thing that you're concerned about, or why you're back here behind this bus, is the fuel rod guy won't shoot at you if you're behind this bus. The rest of the enemies, you actually don't have to worry about it too much if they aggro to you. So as long as the fuel rod guy is dead, you're kind of in the clear to move up. Here, he was like kind of hiding from me in a weird angle. So I kind of moved up, which is risky. But yeah, if you stay behind that bus though, you know, I could have, if I wanted to, you know, be more careful, I could have just came here and shot the guy. It's all about your risk and reward, how much you care about the time versus staying alive. But yeah, essentially you just go through this area, you clear out all the enemies, and then you're good to go. So I showed off that IL strat just because it was like a quick little thing to show off. In this next section though, the rest of the level, there is like another IL strat with the tank. But that will be in the IL video. I'm just going to show the consistent way and the easiest way to get through this area here. So yeah, we're just going to bring the tank up here.
Look out! This one's onto us! Veronica! Come to me!
So at this point with the strat that we're gonna do, this level is now pretty much over. Like, we'll be very safe. However, there's still a little setup that we need to do.
North side of the highway. We'll hold up there, wait for evac.
So we're gonna drive the tank down here. And then what you want to do is you actually want to come over here, kind of stay to the side here, and then you want to wrap around and push this civilian car forward here. And then you kind of want to push it, ideally how I'm pushing it. There are other ways, like you can try to melee it and stuff like that to get it into a position. But see how it's like the hood of the car is positioned like this? You want to use the car as a ramp to get over here. And then you want to park your tank so that it's like this. What this does is it allows us to get back into the tank. So it's very important for the next section here. But yeah, now you want to come up. There's a couple of sleeping grunts here. Just use the fuel rod. Oh, wrong weapon now. You don't want to use all your shots here though, because we want to give the fuel rod to Dare. Oh, I used all of them. Okay, I'm a dumbass.
Screw the alien, what about you?
So that was my mistake. I'll just redo that. There is also another way that you can do this. I kind of blanked for a second because I was talking too much.
Take the next off-ramp. I see
I'll
a
just do it
building
again.
north side of the highway. We'll hold up there, wait for evac. Out of the vehicle, trooper. Let's go.
Also, actually, with the car push here, with at least this strat that we're doing, the safer strat, you actually kind of don't have to worry too much about the hood being facing correctly. You can actually just push it up against it
We're on foot from here.
and then climb anyways. We actually don't have to worry about it too much, so. But anyways, you want to get into the same position, have the tank here, and then we're going to move up. So the easiest way to actually kill those grunts or get rid of them is you just want to come here, pick up the carbine and juggle it over here. And then you can just use this carbine rifle just to headshot the two grunts. Then we're going to switch back over to our plasma pistol. You can pick up a health kit. And yeah, we basically we hit the trigger, so now we're just waiting for Dare to come forward. And what we're going to do is we're going to meet Dare, give her the fuel rod. And then we'll have a human pistol and a plasma pistol. And both of our teammates here will have fuel rods, which they're actually somewhat useful with the fuel rods. You don't actually have to give them fuel rods. Like, ultimately, maybe they'll crack like a couple of brute shields, so it's not too important. But yeah, I mean, they're at least will do some with these fuel rods. If you don't give them any weapons throughout the highway sections, it's not a big deal. But yeah, for speed wise, giving them 2 fuel rods, it makes them actually somewhat useful. Anyways though, as you can see, I got back into my tank and then I could drive back into this section, which normally you're not supposed to be here. And what you want to do is kind of position your tank sort of like this, so that the front of your tank is in this hallway and only the back of your tank is showing. This way you're showing minimal surface area of your tank, and you can very easily dodge anything that's coming towards you. So we're just gonna hang back here and kill enemies. So there's some guys. Oh yeah, there's a fuel rod guy. It's been a while since I've done this strat, so my bad. But yeah, there's a fuel rod guy that drops, so you got to be a little cautious of this fuel rod guy. You're just going to want to poke around the corners here and just try to kill these enemies. The fuel rod guy is obviously the scariest, so you want to get rid of him if you can ASAP. I think I killed him. Once the fuel rod guy is dead, You don't have to worry too much about the rest of these enemies. If they are like very close to this wall though, there's a chance that they can throw a nade at you. So anybody that's very close to this wall, you want to be cautious about. But once they've like all sort of gone forward into this area, now you don't really have to worry about anything. You could just start positioning yourself for better angles and you know, try to snipe these enemies the best you can. The IL strat, you know, probably saves like 2-3 minutes in this final fight, because a lot of it is just gonna be you trying to get some angles on these enemies, and you're just trying to snipe them. But yeah, eventually you'll be able to kill all of them. So we're just gonna hang back here the entire time and just slowly snipe out the enemies. So yeah, once this wave's dead, the next wave's gonna come in, which is a bunch of jackals and then 2 hunters. So you just kind of want to position yourself once again, sort of like this, because for the hunters, we want to be safe. For the jackals, you can stay out a little bit and just kill as many of them as you can as they drop. But once the hunters drop, like these guys you don't have to worry about at all. They're not going to do anything to your tank. They don't throw nades or anything like that. But once the hunters drop, then yeah, you're going to want to, you know, duck and dive behind this corner here. Just make sure you're safe. So here's the 2 hunters. See how they're starting to charge some fuel rod. You just want to hide back whenever they do start shooting at you here. You can take a little bit of damage from these hunters. Same with that fuel rod brute that shot at me previously. But yeah, you can't take that much. So you don't have to worry about getting one shot by these things. But if you do take enough damage, you will die. So just be cautious. Looks like most of the things are dead. Yeah, another thing is like the fuel rod. Giving your allies the fuel rods. They do kill a lot of those jackals that ran up pretty easily with the fuel rod. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, basically we're just gonna hang back. The next wave should be coming in eventually. Oh, here they are. Yeah, there's just this hammer chieftain. He's not like scary, but you just want to kill him, you know? And then you're just gonna sit back and yeah, there's just a whole bunch of brutes in this wave. You want to kill as many as you can with the tank. Some of them will hide off into other corners. And at that point, we can get out of our tank and kind of move up to kill like the 1 or 2 stragglers that are left. But yeah, we just want to be safe and kill as many of these brutes as we can from back here with the scorpion. Hey, it looks like maybe there's only one brute left, so yeah, I'm gonna get out. Once we do pass this barrier, by the way, we are now in this area. Like, we can't go back, so that's why you just want to be sure that, there's only one or two guys left. You can use your map in order to, see how many people are left. Unfortunately, that was my one plasma. So you want to be careful, because obviously your allies are, throwing a lot of grenades and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I'm out of plasma pistol. Okay, I can now move up and grab this one and kill this guy. And that's the end of the mission. You'll see your allies coming in the Phantom. And yeah, you can bask in the glory of completing Halo 3 ODST Deathless. Assuming that you are able to do a Deathless, but with these strats, it's definitely possible and fairly consistent. And yeah, you should have been able to hopefully also get a time of an hour 30, an hour 40-ish. Maybe
nice
after
to know
some
they really do
practice,
listen.
but yeah, these strats are a lot of them, made by me, like with help from some others in the community. So a lot of work went into this, and it's very consistent and very fast. So hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching the tutorial. And like I said, if you wanted to get
That
any
thing's
of the
safe?
IL times or
Boss?
IL strats, you wanted to get really fast at this run, you can feel free to check out those. Um, yeah, they'll also be in the playlist here that I'm going to be creating here for this tutorial. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Um, yeah, and I hope you enjoy this run as much as I do. Have a good one.